Hey guys, this is Miss Eisencraft, and I'm here to talk to you a little bit about how to read and interpret inequalities. Okay, so we've already talked about the symbols: less than, greater than, less than, equal to, greater than or equal to. That's how you read them from left to right. But something that's kind of interesting is that, it's interesting, um, is that when you write an inequality like with variables and an inequality symbol with other variables and numbers, the whole thing instead of an equation is actually called an inequality. So these are inequality symbols. So you and then something like this is called an inequality. Okay, so let's try to make sense of it a little bit. It's very simple. We would read A is greater than or equal to 18. So if you wanted a solution that would satisfy this, that can be kind of weird. Like, what do you mean? It means what value of A would make this true? What values of A are greater than or equal to 18? When you say it like that, it makes a little bit more sense. When you add context, maybe this is the age you need to be to vote needs to be greater than or equal to 18. So then when someone says, what's a solution? It's all the values of A that would make that true. Okay, similarly, if you had it like this, maybe a U10 soccer team, your age needs to be 10 or under. This is how it could be represented in an inequality. And so what would satisfy that? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, right? All the numbers 10 or lower. Where it can get a little bit weird is when you have like some in-between numbers. So say maybe there's a league that says, okay, you have to be older than 14, or say like, yeah, older than 14, whatever that means. And then 18 or younger. So basically between 14 and 18. So if you write this, you might see it written like this. Okay, your age needs to be greater than 14 to be on the league, but your age needs to be less than or equal to 18. These can be combined into like one inequality like statement. And so how I like to think of it is writing the A in the middle. And I think of like two Pac-Men chasing each other. And then I kind of think of it separately. I put the lower boundary on the left. Your age needs to be, and see how A is on the right here? So we would read this, your age needs to be greater than 14, but your age needs to be less than or equal to 18. And this is a way to combine these two into one statement. And sometimes this kind of confuses kids because we get confused. We're used to seeing A on the left or the variable on the left. But I always tell students, okay, last one, like if you saw something like 65, right? If you see something like this and you're like 65 is less than or equal to your age, if you always read it, it's always a little bit easier to understand contextually, even if A is the variables on the right, to read it from the variable's perspective, right? A is greater than or equal to 65. So, just like an equation, you can flip around. Inequalities, you can flip around, but if you flip it around, you also have to flip, right, the symbol as well, because if you kept the symbol the same, you would be saying something completely different. Okay, so I always just read it from A. I tend to make less mistakes. Your age, if it's greater than or equal to 65, you get the senior citizen discount, right? This is saying the same thing. All right, those are all reminders from middle school. Good luck.